And welcome, college lacrosse fans, to Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. We are set for the Division III National Championship game on Championship Sunday. Dave Ryan and former Johns Hopkins midfielder Mark Dixon. It's Amherst and Cabrini. Dixie, first ever appearance for each of these programs in the D3 title tilt. Cabrini coming from just about 15 miles away here in the Philly area. Amherst coming from Springfield, Massachusetts. A longer drive, but each school bringing a big crowd on a big day for college lacrosse.
Very festive atmosphere here at Lincoln Financial Field. It's pretty wild to see Amherst and Cabrini. Division III men's lacrosse, so many teams playing, so much high-quality lacrosse out there. Salisbury has been the team that has pretty much defined success over the last 2 decades in men's Division III lacrosse. We got some new blood. The Cabrini Cavaliers knocked off the Seagulls last week to advance to their first ever NCAA tournament game. Meanwhile, Amherst continues a long line of NESCAC schools to be here on Championship Sunday. Tufts, Middlebury, they've won championships in the past. Wesleyan won their first ever NCAA Division III tournament crown last year in Foxborough. We'll see if the Mammoth can repeat that accomplishment.
Cabrini, the Cavaliers, coming in at 21-2, a 14-game win streak into this title game. Amherst 18-3, 8-2 in league play. First ever appearance, as we mentioned, in the championship game. It's the Mammoths and the Cavaliers about to go head-to-head. And as we talked about Dixie during the D2 broadcast, Jordan Krug, tremendous player for Cabrini. He leads the way with 73 goals, second-team All-American against Evan Wolf, Jordan Wolf's younger brother, a guy who at Duke won national championships in this stadium, and they're back-to-back years in 13 and 14. Well, Jordan's gone. Now Evan takes center stage in the D3 title game.
Yeah, Wolf is a tremendous player for this Amherst team. He's a great scorer, a guy that can fill up the score sheet. Meanwhile, you mentioned Krug. He's a tremendous shooter, and he seems to release it from anywhere he pleases and often finds success. So you've got 2 of the best Division III lacrosse players, offensive or otherwise, going head-to-head in this game for each of these ball clubs. And they're going to figure huge in the game plans defensively for each squad, trying to limit their looks.
A perfect day for college lacrosse here at the Lincoln. Philly already. Merrimack, the Warriors, winning back-to-back national championships in their final day in Division II. They're off to the NEC in Division I next year, and now it's time to decide the Division III championship. And you played at Johns Hopkins, you coach, you officiate, you broadcast lacrosse. Nothing quite like this moment for players, fans, and the media, right?
This is the culmination of everything. I mean, look, college lacrosse has become year-round, but let's just rewind to right after you get back to school, after holiday break. It's cold for the most part, unless you're playing in a warm weather state or territory, but it's cold, it's a challenge. This day, this stage seems so far away, but yet you put in the conditioning, you put in the training, you put in the fundamentals, and here you are at the end of May, Memorial Day weekend, competing for the ultimate prize in the sport, a national championship. So it doesn't get much better than this.
Spike Decker, Scott McCall, Rob Gross, Syracuse alum. I taught Rob in school years ago.
Oh, there you go.
The on-field officiating.
How do you end up as a referee and not a broadcaster?
Here in Philadelphia, as we're moments away from the start of this one between Cabrini and Amherst College. The goalie stable, Gib Versfield for the Mammoths with a 5-2 record. Riley White, 13 goals allowed, 9 saves against Salisbury in the semifinals, an 11-1 record in 23 games played this year for Cabrini. Well, the big guns we talked about with Evan Wolf and Jordan Krug head-to-head. It'll be fun to watch Krug, who is just a couple goals away from becoming the all-time leading goal scorer in Cabrini history. And as his coach, in a conversation with Steve Colfer yesterday, told us, now Jordan Krug was a tremendous high school football player, defensive end, tight end type, and a wrestler. So he knows leverage, and he knows how to score goals.
He really does. He's a tremendous shooter. Can't wait to see him participate in this game this afternoon. I was just talking to Kyle Devitt from Inside Lacrosse, and he mentioned the scoring prowess and the shooting ability of Krug. He's a guy that this Amherst defense is always going to have to be accounted for, always have to know where he is. He's going to be on their radar big time. But, you know, much like Limestone in Division II championship game, they really focused their defensive game plan in a lot of ways around Charlie Bertrand, and there were a number of other Merrimack Warriors that hurt the Limestone State. So this Cabrini team also has a lot of scoring options. We'll see how they're defended here this afternoon.
Highlights from years past in Division III. Wesleyan of Connecticut won last year by an 8-6 score over Salisbury and Foxborough. Setting the scene for Championship Sunday here in Philly in 2019. A perfect day for college lacrosse. About 85 degrees at game time here in Pennsylvania. Starting lineups will meet one another with our on-field officiating crew. At midfield, we'll get this thing going in a moment. Goalies shake hands. Defense, offense splits up. Wings split up. And we're about ready to rumble here in Philadelphia. Luke McCallion will take the face-off here for the Cavaliers. 12-30 against Salisbury in the semifinals. Last outing for him. For Amherst, Dylan Fanazzo, junior face-off man. 60% face-off dot. They'll get us started for the 2019 Division III National Championship game. There's the whistle. Sticks meet underway from Philly in the link. First possession. Cavaliers come loose with it. And the offensive end. We'll get things set up. Keep a close eye on number 55, Jordan Krug.
Good ground ball by Sean Wagner off the opening face-off. The value of wings can never be undervalued or underestimated. It's oftentimes talking about the great face-off men, and rightly so, but sometimes they can only be as good as their wing play.
Bill Morgan helps play into the offensive end, along with Tyler Kostak Jr. from here in the Philly area. A majority of the Cabrini players from right here in Greater Philadelphia. So family and friends are all out today to watch the Cavaliers try to take home a national championship. Kostak operates in the left alley. Here's Krug with his first handle. Far side GLE for Jordan Krug. Trying to get physical. Amherst watching him closely. Have to keep a close eye on that guy with Kostak working up top. Jacob Klein, another Philly area product, and a midfielder in the back 15. 8 to shoot here. First possession, Cavaliers being tested by a good half-field defense from the Mammoths. Final seconds, there's a horn and a shot clock violation. What a start to the game for Amherst College defensively.
Great defensive stand, and you got to be a little bit more clock aware if you are Cabrini. They continued to attack without attacking, and that ball ended up at the top of the box. That is, in essence, giving up a quarter of the field in the clearing game. If you're not going to be able to generate any quality shots, just get that ball behind the cage, whip it into a corner, and make the opposing team have to clear the entire length of the field.
46 goals for Matt Solberg, who plays off for Wolf in the back 15. Solberg, first team USLA, third team, Division III All-American this year. Has the handle at the top of the box here. And the first possession for the Mammoths underway in our 2019 title tilt. Shot, score, early start. Exactly what the Mammoths wanted with Jackson Herrick. A goal and 3 shots against Williams in the semifinal. Lid lifter here for the Amherst College Mammoths in the D3 title game.
Solberg is the Amherst player that gets the Cabrini defense moving with a dodge down the right alley. He's going to throw it back, and they're just going to change field. Good ball rotation. And after receiving it, Herrick is just going to get ahead of steam. He's going to get to the middle of the field, and he's going to put a beautiful high-to-low offering pass to Cabrini netminder. Amherst is on the bird first.
18th of the year for Herrick. And his coach and John Thompson had a chat with him this week and said Herrick has come up so big in the playoff run through the Division III bracket for the Mammoths. Nothing like that first goal to get you started off on the right foot in a championship game. Wing play will be critical, of course, throughout this title game. We'll see who's got the advantage on our second face-off here in Philly. Cavaliers They'll play it back to their goaltender, and Riley White. He's a senior. Another Philly area product from about 20 miles from the stadium here. Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania. Just imagine the emotion, the energy, and the pressure on these Philly area kids who are playing like Riley White as a senior at the Link, home of their beloved Eagles, trying for national championship.
Well, much like the Division I game yesterday, Yale and Penn State. When Yale was introduced, it was a modest applause. When Penn State was announced, the stadium seemed to erupt. Same deal here. You look across the way, about 3/4 of the fans here are Cabrini.
Pipe on a big shot. A blast there by Kyle Tucker. 47 goals, looking for number 48, but the iron denies him there. And the Mammoths closest to it, they'll try to clear up field. 20 seconds to get it across that midfield line. Love the new rule. Love the shot clock. In college lacrosse, it has changed the game, Dixie, dramatically.
Absolutely. Love both of the things you just described. It necessarily hasn't sped up pace of play, but it's given it a different element. It's taken the pressure off the referees in terms of subjectivity of when teams are stalling, which I think helps them to officiate a better game. But it's also made the game a lot easier to understand and more appetizing for fans.
Jack Norton from Kazmierski handling the offensive end here for the Mammoths. Jackson Herrick scoring a couple minutes into this first quarter in our D3 title game. Norton, 15-yard range, says Coach John Thompson. He's a bomber, handles here top of the box, 20 to shoot on this possession. As the Mammoths take their time, we've not seen a lot of touches yet from Wolf. Kazmierski, the sophomore, 6'5" sharpshooter. Wolf handles back 15, 9 to shoot on this Mammoth possession. Wolf open for a moment. Instead, the pass goes up top. Big blast, big shot, big score for Norton. Lefty heat. The hammer, Jack Norton. We told you a moment ago he's got that 15-yard range. Case in point. Amherst, a great start. 2-0 in our title game.
Just good ball movement deep, deep, deep into the possession for the Mammoth. Working the ball behind the cage. They're just going to switch fields with Wolf taking the ball, and then he's going to have the skip pass to Norton. Some time and room to deliver high heat past Riley White. Good offense by Amherst. Everybody's getting a touch. They're getting penetration on this Cabrini defense. Meanwhile, Cabrini has had a couple decent possessions in terms of time, but they haven't been able to get any penetration on this Mammoth D.
BJ Clemente, the helper, on Jack Norton's first of the game. So Herrick and Norton have tallied from Mann and Clemente. And a great early start here for the Mammoths, trying for their first ever championship. Face-off win. And the momentum continues.
Well, Finazzo, good face-off win. First of the game for Amherst, and this is not a good recipe if you're Cabrini. You're down 2-0, but you were controlling possession of sorts with winning face-offs. If you can't make defensive stops and win face-offs, they've got to really hunker down here, get a stop, and try to figure out a way to solve this Amherst D.
Luke Millette sprints off the field for Amherst. Job well done, wing play. Finazzo and Juan Gonzalez will each take face-offs in this game today for Amherst. They have been dominant in the early going. Wolf handles up top. Brogan Mann, senior and a team captain, operates right alley here. Pipe on a big shot. Blast from Jackson Herrick, trying for a second. Matt Solberg trying to find the handle. And regaining a good battle by Colin Minikis as he works in the back 15. The want-to on the ground ball. Minikis feeding in front for Wolf. Pipe or a save. That was incredible on the quick stick attempt from Evan Wolf. Denied. The bottom line by Cabrini. Cavaliers chance to clear.
Well, these are the stops that you need to make if you are Cabrini. Good job, Riley White. Even though they might have been a little bit of iron involved in those deflections or those missed opportunities, he was seeing it. He was reacting to it. He was in position, and that is good news.
Kevin Layden between the top of the box and the midfield line handles here as a midi for the Cavaliers. Trying to get on the board. In front, quick shot. And a score. And the Cavaliers do just that with the big response. Defensive meltdown enables Bill Morgan to get loose. Where was the Mammoth defense?
Well, we talked about penetration, but you get stops and you clear the ball, good things can happen on the offensive end of the field. Miscommunication amongst this Mammoth defense as Morgan comes into the defensive zone, attacks from the wing, and nobody picks him up. He goes in uncontested and just gets right onto the crease and slips it past the Amherst goaltender. That is a big goal for the Cavaliers.
Steve Kofer told us no one more reliable than Bill Morgan, the senior from Boomerall, Pennsylvania, 23 miles from where we are here in the link. His 81st career goal. And as you saw, 41st of the season. Cavaliers on the board. Critical momentum shifter. McCallion takes the draw. Head-to-head with Finazzo. And McCallion and company with Krug will handle here. Cavalier possession.
A good face-off win. Always good to follow up your first score of the game with another possession. I like the way the wings for both these teams are competing at the face-off. We'll see if Cabrini puts the ball in the stick a little bit more of Krug in his first go to the cage. The defender in charge of marking him, Rod Castro, got the better of that matchup, and you could see the Amherst bench replying and responding very positively.
Mike Gerzabek makes that cut. Krug handles, far side GLE, and swims away from traffic with 35 to shoot on this Cavalier possession. Krug is set up in the slot now. Looking for the loose change. Contact, crease call. Mammoths will try to come out the other way, but the errant pass near midfield, and Amherst can't handle it on that bullet pass on a clear try. Sometimes I see Dixie with all levels. Teams will rush a clear thinking about that 20-second rule.
It's not so much thinking about the 20-second rule. Sometimes that can be in vogue, but they just want that early offense. They want that quick change of field, and oftentimes they rush it, and that the fundamentals go out the window. I think that's exactly what happened in that situation.
Klein for Layden, big crank and a shot off the mark from Kostak. The junior, yet another Philly product, but the backup from the Mammoths, and they'll have a chance to clear it upfield. Gibb Bursfield, sophomore, is the goaltender today for Amherst College. Jackson Herrick, Jack Norton have scored so far for the Mammoths. Bill Morgan, uncontested drive and an easy layup. Goal scored for Cabrini, and their lone tally so far. Now the clear, some ride trouble. Bursfield, long pass, up for grabs. Who's going to have it? A good effort, and Amherst able to grab that GB on the bounce for Coffey, but it's a turnover.
We could call it a moving pick against the Mammoth. They caught a break because Versfeld just chucked it. Little Hail Mary with the clock approaching 60 seconds, and he still had the ball in his crease.
Krug drive toward the goal. It's off the pipe. Jordan Krug leaping and got some iron. Looking for his first of the day. Amherst on the clear. Sprinting upfield. Krasikis, short stick defensive midfielder with a good job across the midfield line. Wolf passing. Minikis works now at X. Third team All-American working in front, nearly in the net. And denied. Riley White and the defense. Cavaliers in the breakout coming the other way with Wagner. The attack for Amherst is dangerous in the offensive end.
No doubt.
Lots of quick stick attempts. This one fails. And the Cavaliers an opportunity. Trying to tie this one up.
Cabrini. I'll tell you what, man, these jerseys are slick looking, but they're tough to see from our vantage point, man.
Not easy. Doing our best. Big rip stop. And a save Bursfield on a quick hammer shot by Kyle Tucker. About 10 yards out. Here comes the clear the other way for the Mammoths.
I thought they tried to get Amherst confused, and there's another failed clear. Right now, the Mammoth are having incredible trouble getting it from defense to offense. Credit Cabrini, aggressive ride, making life very difficult for this Amherst team.
Kyle Tucker finds the ground ball. Kostak, offensive end. Here's Krug with a handle. Long GLE. Passing this time, and a bounce shot off target. Ripped there by Waligurski. Senior attackman. And one assist in the win over Salisbury in the Division III semifinals to get the Cavaliers this far. First ever appearance in the title game.
I know we're here at the Link, the home of the Philadelphia Eagles. Cabrini's uniforms look like the Lions, Detroit Lions out there. I think Matthew Stafford's going to be, I don't even know who Matthew Stafford's throwing a ball to anymore these days.
Don't ask me. Kostak with a blast from Tucker.
I don't feel so
and
bad.
And Lona High, it's off target.
They got rid of Golden Tate. Calvin Johnson retired. That just gave me an idea, man.
You're switching gears on me, man. I'm focusing on Division III right now.
I might go out for the training camp for the Detroit Lions at wide receiver. I might have a shot.
That I want to see. Let me know. I'll be there with video. Tamer Sullivan helping get it across the midfield line. Feeds Solberg, the All-American, with some speed into the offensive end. As Amherst College tries to get another one here on the board. Colin Minikis and the Mammoths operating the back 15. Wolf has been quiet so far. He's camped out now to the left of the goaltender, Riley White. Minikis feeds up top for Solberg. Has a handle in the right alley. Here's Wolf. National Player of the Year in Division III. What a season. 73 goals and 115 points. 5.48 points per game for the dynamic Evan Wolf.
Yeah, good player. Jordan Wolf won a national championship on this field with the Duke Blue Devils a handful of years ago. See if he can get that magic as well.
One extra pass and a blast just off target, ripped there by John Coffey. Team's second leading goal scorer with 53 tallies on the year and 62 points. He is a marksman. That time just missed the target.
A terrific motion offense by this Amherst team.
No miss this time. Up high for Mann. And it's another goal scored by Amherst. They beat the shot clock with about 10 to shoot. And Brogan Mann, an assist, now a goal in this Division III championship game to make it 3-1 Amherst College.
After all the ball movement, it gets to Mann up top. And he's just going to have a nice swath of alley to work with. And the high-to-high delivery. Beautiful shot, good pace, good velocity. But I'm very impressed thus far with the Amherst ball movement. Very crisp passing, not staying in anyone's stick for more than 2-3 seconds at a time. And if you're going to slide, you got to slide harder than that. You got to come with authority. You got to come with a stick in front of you. Good approach through the gloves, disrupt the shooting motion.
McCallion will take this draw with Juan Gonzalez, the freshman faceoff midfielder from Sarasota, Florida. He was 1 for 4 against Williams in the semifinals. So as John Thompson told us, he'll throw Dylan Finazzo and Juan Gonzalez out there as two face-off men head-to-head today with Cabrini. 3-1 lead. Man first multi-point scorer in this championship game. 3 different goal scorers. Mammoths face-off win. Had a shot just off the mark, not by much, by Krasikis. A 4-0 lead for Amherst in that semifinal victory. Grant Krasikis had one of those goals against Williams. Also took a couple face-offs. Versatile player. Wolf on the retrigger and the back 15. With just under 3 to go in the opening quarter. Norton for Kazmierski. The 6'5 sharpshooter. Wolf. High pass. Minikis able to bring that one in. Trouble to handle. Minikis. That far side GLE now to X. Defense held up with Colin Minikis right behind the cage. Pass nearly a quick shot. Put off there by John Coffey. And Minikis regains with 38 to shoot on the 80 here for the Mammoths.
Trying to pick their matchup. Wolf trying to get more involved, but I think Amherst has had great success going against the short sticks of Cabrini, at least to get the defense moving and to get some space opened up for the teammates.
15 to shoot here, Dixie, on this possession. B.J. Clemente trying to create, and the shot ripped off target there by Kazmierski, the sophomore from Medford, New Jersey. 10 to shoot. Jack Norton, swim move through traffic, shoots. Pipe or a save. Skip to the crease. Shot clock reset, effort Kazmierski, but it's out of bounds, and a chance here for the Cavaliers to take over.
Either way, pipe or a save, that was going to be a reset, a fresh 80 for Amherst to work with. But that little knockout, creating the ground ball, keeping the ball on the ground, it caroms off of a Mammoth player.
Look at the ride, effective.
Look at that.
4 purple jerseys with the Mammoths around the ball and no chance to advance it toward the midfield line. Tremendous effort by Chase Yeager, freshman with 20 games and 7 points this year on an aggressive ride. And a quick shot fired there by Coffey just off target. And it's a backup for Wolf.
Oh, Kevin Layden was the guy, the shorty for Cabrini trying to clear, and I liked his motion moving forward. But when you get surrounded by 3 or 4 purple jerseys, that means you have at least 2 of your silver jerseys are going to be wide open, and you got to move the ball.
Timeout called by Cabrini here, partner, in our first quarter with a minute 11 to go. We'll take a quick break as well. It is 3-1 in the Division III National Championship game. To go in our first quarter here from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. It is the Division III National Championship game as Amherst, the Mammoths, a 3-1 lead on the Cabrini Cavaliers. First ever D3 title game appearance for each program. Off the timeout called by Cabrini. Let's see exactly what the Mammoths have in mind here. Trenton Shore gets a shift in our final minute of the first quarter. Wolf quiet so far. Feeds Dylan Peabody. 4 goals and 18 points. In front, Wolf trying to golf that in a one-timer, but beyond his reach. It's called a pass, and Cabrini closest to it anyway. Turned over to the Cavaliers, 47.8 to go first quarter.
Good timeout by Steve Colfer, Cabrini, head coach. He sensed his team was playing a ton of defense, especially after the failed clear. Gave them a timeout to catch their breath, recalibrate, and that's a perfect ending to that sequence.
Cressman across the midfield line, and a shot from 15. A huge goal blasted by Sean Wagner. His 9th of the year. Things unsettled defensively for Amherst on the clear across the midfield line, and Wagner made him pay.
That is the perfect scenario for calling a timeout on your defensive end. You get the stop, you get the clear, and then Wagner dialing up the long distance, a little early offense, pushing the transition opportunity. And I like how he just steps in and shows confidence and used the defender a little bit as a screen against the goaltender for Amherst. Nice shot by Wagner. Big goal, 3-2.
Jordan Krug, first point of what Cabrini fans hope will be many today for the All-American. Gets an assist on the Wagner tally to make it 3-2 in the final moments of the first quarter. Boy, you're right about that. Tremendous timeout. Worked out perfectly for the Cavaliers. Now the wing play gets involved. Luke Millette got a game-high 3 caused turnovers in the Victor Everett Williams semifinals, but this time a quick shot put right on the wing play and just off the mark. Almost a second quick goal for Cabrini. That was Luke McCallion, the sophomore midfielder. Final moments and a flag flies with bodies in front of the net. Now let's get the call here.
Referees are coming together.
I don't know. Tucker involved in the contact, Dixie.
I don't know if we're going to have a push or if this is going to be an unsportsmanlike on Cabrini for diving into the goaltender. The player did land in the goal mouth. We'll wait to see what the call is.
7.5 seconds to go in the opening quarter.
It's unsportsmanlike conduct. It's the dive is going to be called against Cabrini. So the new dive rule basically states that you have to dive away from the goal mouth if you want to dive into the crease. You can't land in the goal mouth, which is basically a little bit of an ice cream cone shape. Start at the goal line and extend out about 3 yards. And that is the goalie's domain. Also, you have a situation where goaltenders will try to initiate contact with divers. That is interference. That is illegal. But there was no push as determined by the officials. And since the Cabrini player dove into the goal mouth, that is a 1-minute unsportsmanlike, non-releasable foul in this situation.
Kyle Tucker, with 47 goals, has to sit. Solberg will re-trigger in the final seconds of the first. A lot of man-up time. Upcoming for the Mammoths to begin the second quarter. We'll take a timeout from Philadelphia after one. A 3-2 lead for Amherst, head-to-head with Cabrini today, looking for the national championship. 15 minutes back up on the board here at the link in Philadelphia. 3-2, Amherst College leading Cabrini from here in the Philly area, looking for the Division III national championship. Some man-up time to begin quarter number 2. Mark Dixon for Amherst. Recap quarter number 1. What do you think?
Good offensive ball movement. I think they are the bigger, more physical team than Cabrini is. But I like the Cavaliers' opportunistic scoring. They've settled down. I thought Riley White made a couple of nice saves at the end of that first quarter. So this is a golden opportunity, however, for the Amherst Mammoths to go in here and no face-off, because Cabrini has faced off well here so far in this game, and this is an opportunity for them to not only score 1 goal, but it's a non-releasable foul to try to get multiple opportunities.
51% their man-up efficiency so far, and 0 for 1 to begin this game. Solberg passing around the perimeter of the box. The All-American handles. We'll see if Wolf gets involved a little bit in this second quarter. Quiet so far. Quick stick try in front. Amherst tallies again. Dylan Peabody, 5th of the year. Quick stick, lefty, goes high, leaps, and strikes. And it's another for the Mammoths with the extra man. They continue to be 6-on-5, make it 4-2.
Nothing fancy with this opportunity. It was basically a 3-1-2. Wolf is going to peel off the crease, and when he peeled off, his spot is vacated by the cutting Dylan Peabody. He catches it, redirects it into the cage. Excellent extra man execution for the Mammoths.
First point of the day for Wolf. And Peabody tallies with the extra man. Extra man face-off coming up here. Juan Gonzalez takes it this time for the Mammoths. I'd love to get the ball back here. Violation. Gonzalez and Cabrini. A good chance with Krug on the handle.
Well, big break for Cabrini. Now they can maybe try to rag out the rest of this penalty time. Amherst, will they elect to double the ball, or are they just going to let the penalty expire? I think it's going to be the latter, because it's 6-on-5 right now, purple on silver. That's silver or gray, would you say?
I'm going to say gray.
Okay.
But you're right with the Detroit Lions comparison. The colors feel the same.
They look identical almost.
Mike Kurzebek, one of the top offensive players, waiting in the right wing area. Krug now at X. Kurzebek to handle. In the alley, he'll switch hands. Springfield, PA native, another Philly area guy, 2 goals on 6 shots against Salisbury. In the semifinals, Krug gets physical. We told you he's a high school tight end and defensive end and knows how to use the muscle. Kostak feeds to the top of the box. Return pass for Tyler Kostak. 3 points against Salisbury for him in the semis. A tremendous effort. Flag flies. Goal in. Speaking of great efforts, Kevin Layden drives toward the rack and delivers.
Layden does a great job of winning his matchup at goal line extended. And in the past, players would have to tiptoe the crease. And if you got somebody below goal line extended, you probably did your job defensively. But we're going to see Layden get underneath. He's got a sliver right here and instead of having to cruise behind the cage, he's going to dive. They're going to call a push on Amherst. The push is wiped out by the goal. Cavaliers cut it back down to 1, and we're even strength on the faceoff.
Layden makes it 4-3. Unassisted, 8th of the season. Finazzo is back in to replace Juan Gonzalez. Head-to-head with Luke McCallion, the sophomore. Amherst, wings, win it. Wolf, shot, stopped. Gibb Versfield will await the attack here. Riley White with a breakout upfield. And Cabrini, maybe the best look of the day for Wolf. They shut down.
They've got 3 seconds to get it over the midfield line. They don't recognize it.
Yeah, they don't do it. Failure to clear. Not even close. You're right, Dixie. Barely out of their own box. And a retrigger quickly here for Amherst.
Poor shot clock management defensively. We saw one earlier, offensive-minded. Now defensively, not good use of that clock.
Logan Laird Jr. also will face off. He's taken 98 draws this year at 46%. Helps with a long stick, defensive midfielder, and things settle here for Amherst and Jackson Herrick. Herrick had the first goal of the game along with Norton and Brogan Mann and then Dylan Peabody. So 4 different goal scorers today for the Mammoths. Morgan Wagner and Layden have scored so far for Cabrini. Good track down in the corner by Wolf. And a retrigger. The shot there from Mann. Tries again. That was blocked. And painfully so. And Brogan Mann had a big blast. Not easy to take that if you're the Cabrini defender and Jacob Klein. Man, is that hurt.
Looks like he's good. I may have stopped that for a second just to check on his health.
Quick stick try. Comes out to Mann. On a good deflection at the top of the box. Shot ripped off target. Wolf had a cross on it for the moment. And it drifts into the corner and checks up just enough for Tommy DeLuca, All-American. Close defenseman for the Cavaliers to track down the ground ball. And now a chance for a much better clear for Cabrini. That's operated a lot better across the midfield line. Quick shot and a stop. Great save. Gibb Versfield read it on the fast break attempt. His best save of the day.
Oh, Versfield, just nice job. The trail tech coming oh so close but misses, and Versfield did a nice job of standing his ground, tracking the ball, and then knocking it into an area where Cabrini couldn't get to it. So it was a rebound, but it was a rebound off to his side versus a rebound out in front of his feet.
Here's Matt Solberg on the pass from Mann, who now is heading off field after a pretty good offensive shift a moment ago. 4-3 game here in our second quarter. 1 goal for each team in the second. Peabody and Layden have tallied for each Amherst and Cabrini so far. Wolf is now inverted up top. 1 assist so far for Evan Wolf. The All-American and Player of the Year. Big blast. Stopped again. White. And the defense everywhere here for Cabrini on the shutdown of the big lefty blast. Rebound loose. Kazmierski trying to find a handle, and a timeout called by John Thompson and the Mammoths in a 4-3 game.
Well, how about the play of Riley White? Man, making a couple nice saves here in the second quarter. That one he couldn't locate initially, but I loved how he fought for that ground ball. He kept it alive, kept it alive, kept it alive. Amherst picks it up. They take the timeout. John Thompson wants to talk things over and preserve possession because it was a loose ball situation and it had hit the goaltender. So when Amherst picked it up, that's a reset of the shot clock. So they will have the full allotment of 80 seconds to work with on this possession.
10:21 to go in our second quarter here in a 4-3 game. Shots are 11-8 on goal so far in this game. Extra man 1 for 2 to this point. And 0 for 2. Cabrini and Amherst head-to-head. There's 5 for 8 and 5 for 7. Turnovers are 5-4, so things pretty even, and CT's just 1-0 in our game so far.
Try to figure out the stat monitor here at Lincoln Financial Field. A little goofy, but you're right. The play on the stat sheet, as far as we can tell, as close as the scoreboard with Amherst up 4-3.
Bottom line, things are close.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Off the timeout, and as Dixie pointed out, importantly, a fresh 80. Here come the Mammoths with an 18-3 record heading in. Cabrini at 21-2. Neither program has ever been this far in school history.
Well, let's see what Amherst cooks up offensively here. They got Wolf, the attackman, all the way up top outside the box. So showing his versatility in being able to move around and attack and initiate from different spots on the field. This is a wide circle offense by Amherst. They have no crease man, so they're really trying to spread out this Cavalier defense.
Norton for Solberg on the right wing. Solberg, the All-American. Blast, scores! Matt Solberg got the left hand free for an instant. All he needs with a hammer. And that was high heat. It's another from the Mammoths, 5-3 game.
Well, that's what they were doing. That's why they were spreading out this Cabrini defense. They wanted to give Solberg a sweep to the cage with a lot of room to operate. And they also created room where the slides, if they came, were going to be very easy to see and from far away. Solberg just gets a step on his man, gets to the center of the field, left-handed with a cannon, high to high over Riley White, who had been playing some pretty solid lacrosse, protecting his cage up until that point.
John Thompson told us this week, just a tremendous shooter, left and right-handed. Matt Solberg, converted attackman. Now the junior first-line midfielder in an All-American season. That was a good position change for him. That was a major pace on that lefty hammer. Face-off win Amherst. Possession, McAfee finds the ground ball off the wing. Jimmy McAfee charging in, feeds Wolf, a righty shot, just off target, looking for the upper 90 from Evan Wolf.
Good transition opportunity for the Mammoth.
Plenty of velocity on that big shot. Jack Norton, one of 3 scored by Amherst in the first quarter. Now it's Peabody and Solberg in the second. So 5 different goal scorers, kind of like our Division II championship game we had today. Merrimack had so many different goal scorers, lots of balance in their win over Limestone, taking back-to-back D2 titles. Kazmierski up top. About 9 to go, first half, and halfway through the shot clock cycle. P.J. Clementi, early helper, passing this time, quick stick shot, and a score for Coffey. 6 goals, all by different goal scorers for the Mammoths. This time it's John Coffey who tallies.
Well, Merrimack's first 7 goals of the Division II championship game they scored were tallied by 7 different players. Now we're seeing almost a repeat performance out of the Amherst Mammoths as Coffey becomes the 6th man in purple to find the twine. This is just good inside-outside offense. A couple of dodges previously, Solberg's the latest, and this is just a nice flash cut by Coffey across the face of the cage. Clementi hits him on the run, and a redirection into the back of the net. Pay dirt for the Mammoths.
Second assist, P.J. Clementi, of this first half. And a timeout on the field with 8:55 to go in quarter number 2, 6-3 game. We'll take a timeout as well. Back in a moment to Philadelphia. Back underway in Philadelphia, 6-3 game here in the second quarter. Face-off midfield, the Wings involved. Cavaliers and Krug have possession as they try to get back on the board here. Amherst effective, 3-2 after the first quarter. And now a lead of 6-3. Bolted out to a 2-0 lead. 3-1 after man tallied from Matt Solberg. Herrick, Norton, Mann, Peabody, Solberg. Now Coffey have all scored. And the response goal, Cabrini back on the board. Tyler Kostak, local product. has his 29th of the year. And the Cavaliers a big response to make it 6-4.
Big response is an understatement. That timeout, two great timeouts by the Cabrini Cavaliers, after which both have resulted in goals. As Krug got the ball and went behind the cage, I'm thinking, okay, we haven't called his name a whole lot. He's been handcuffed a little bit. Now it's maybe time for him to get involved, but the unselfish nature of Krug, he gets the ball spinning, gets it up top, and the finish, the great step-in shot by Kostak. That shot had a lot of juice to it. Good velocity, offside hip, perfect placement. And the Cavaliers pull back within 2.
Local product from Broomhall, Pennsylvania. Kostak, his 93rd career goal. Shifty, elusive. Steve Colfer tells us. Face-off win, goal, wing, Jake Huey. Charges in untouched and scores for Cabrini. Back-to-back jacks. Just 6 seconds apart for the Cavaliers to make it 6-5.
From one Broomhall native to another, we saw Kostak with the goal. Now Huey is going to do his best Gerard Arceri impersonation, the face-off man for Penn State, with 3 goals yesterday. Plays it out the front door. Look at the strength as he was caught from behind initially. He's able to keep the ball. Not only that, he protects it, pulls it in front of his face, pulls it back, delivers the high bouncer. Nice goal, 2 goals in 6 seconds for the Cabrini Cavaliers.
How about Jake Huey, first of the year, and he will take faceoffs with a 6-foot pole, as we saw a moment ago. Steve Colfer told us this week to provide a little change of pace. Faceoff win again. He'll go long stick to short stick. Krug's got it outside the box. Fresh possession here for Cabrini, under 8 to go first half, as they score 2 quick ones to make it 6-5. An impressive comeback.
That's a type of goal that can really spark you when your face-off man scores. That and a pole goal can really get the juices flowing.
Gerzebek pass up top. Eventually Krug handles in the offensive end as Cabrini settles here in the half field. Kevin Layden, he's got 1 today. Krug's been pretty quiet. Got the 1 assist. An All-American handles in the back 15. Here's the back, and here's Krug. He scores! Jordan Krug just too strong, just too good. Got free, drives in, left-handed shot low. And 3 in a row scored by the Cavaliers. We're tied at 6.
Krug just able to work the defense. He's been quiet up to this point, but patience is a virtue to great lacrosse players. He finally senses that this might be the moment. He just works underneath, uses the pick, gets a step. It doesn't take much for Krug to get that shot off, and I love the placement of it. I love the execution. High bouncer, nestles under the crossbar. Big goal for Cabrini.
232nd career goal for the great Jordan Krug. He is 1 shy of the all-time school record held by Scott Reimer between 2006 and 2009. But a big face-off win for the Mammoths, trying to respond here and end this momentum and big run. Jimmy McAfee off the wing. He's the short stick defensive midfielder of the year in his conference. NESCAC. That's a tremendous lacrosse league, Division III in New England.
And NESCAC is really, from top to bottom, maybe become the best conference in Division III lacrosse. Tufts, Middlebury. You've got Wesleyan, the defending national champions. Amherst out here now representing the conference in the national tournament. Williams had a strong year. Bates is an outstanding program.
PJ Clementi, Dixie plays off for Colin Minikis. Clementi the handle now in the back 15 at X, starting to his left. Minikis might have stepped on the line.
Yep, crease violation against Amherst.
Dancing around the 9-foot perimeter of the cage. That's right back to the Cavaliers, trying to continue this run with 3 in a row. Coffey scored to make it 6-3. Back-to-back-to-back jacks. Cabrini, things get physical with Amherst. Jackson Herrick laying the lumber on a big hit. And Ray Chilling finds a loose change across the midfield line for the Mammoths as they force a turnover.
That's where you just got to be a little bit more aware if you're a Cabrini clearing midfielder and the coach couldn't bail him out with a timeout because Cabrini is out of timeouts. That's a situation where you see a guy getting stalked from behind and we're going to have a flag down. Cabrini is offsides. 7 men in the defensive zone for the Cavaliers.
Flag on the ground here. Solberg handles, realizing the delay penalty is coming against Cabrini with under 5.5 to go in the first half. In our back and forth game, now tied at 6. Matt Solberg plays up top. Kazmierski to handle with Wolf. Shot clock at 25. Kazmierski on a feed for Mann. Righty shot, stopped, and here's the whistle. Riley White, the senior, another Philly area product, makes the stop for Cabrini. Here comes the penalty.
So they're going to call a legal procedure, too many men on the field, which is totally fine because they did have 7 men on the defensive end of the field. So up to 32nd, man-up opportunity for the Amherst Mammoths.
Mammoths 1 for 2 man-up Dixie so far in this game. Cabrini is 0 for 2, 6 on 5. A chance here, half a minute. Matt Solberg on the handle. Wolf is set up in front of the crease here. Bounce shot sent just off target and a rip from Jack Norton. We have the second goal of the day for Amherst from P.J. Clementi to make it 2-0. They had a 3-1 lead and pretty dominant in the first quarter. 6-3 lead into the second quarter before Cabrini came back with a 3-goal run. Bounce shot again off target, Jack Norton, the senior. 22 goals on the year. Radnor High School, another Philly area native.
2-3-1. Extra man set right here for the Mammoths. They did that little peel off of Wolf on the previous EMO that resulted in a cut and a goal. But we're back to 6-on-6. We're back to even strength as the penalty expires, and Amherst has just under 50 seconds to get a shot off.
Trenton Shore, big blast, backed up by Norton. And the back 15, handle error by Colin Minikis. A lot of room from the Cavalier defense. And Minikis at GLE passing off for Shore. Shore is the team's leader in EMO goals. He's got 8 extra man tallies. Unable to convert that time at the very end of the 30-second technical call against Cabrini. So Norton runs outside the box. Wolf and company on the handle. The All-American Solberg. Back 15, harassed. Good defense. R.J. Wolf, 6-foot pole. Regained by Solberg. Norton passing, picked. Perfect defensive set. Cabrini and a chance to clear up field here. The ride aggressive, but Cabrini across the midfield line with Cressman. The last second Shore with a lunging trail check. Wolf open field. Streaks in. Thought about darting right toward the goal, but last second was shut down by Jacob Klein. Good defense along with Tommy DeLuca, the All-American, and the half field set again for the Mammoths.
Great ride by Amherst. That's going to show up potentially as a successful clear because technically the Cabrini player got across the midfield line with possession, but once he crossed it, his stick was then taken out of his hands. Ball hits the deck. Amherst picks it up, and they're back on offense. These are the types of things that wear defenses down when they don't get a chance to recalibrate and rest. So nice job by Amherst to keep up the pressure, and they do still have 1 timeout left.
Herrick back on the field. Shore and Solberg on the midfield here for John Thompson with 2:30 and counting in this first half. Shot clock at 20. Good ball movement. And Herrick shot just off target. Who's got the backup? Closest to it, Solberg.
Well, looks like
triggers and line.
Looks like Cabrini was in a little bit of a zone. They were packing it in. And they were going to stay in that defensive formation.
Minikis for Herrick. His shot is wide. Who's closest this time? It's Cabrini. Great hustle, Riley White. A goaltender with a lunge along the end line. And he and the defense now a chance to clear up field.
I don't think anybody wearing a purple jersey expected that shot to be taken. Everyone was 2 yards above goal line extended, so therefore when the shot missed its mark, there was no backup. That's the same thing as a turnover. Cabrini back on offense.
Layden and company across the midfield line, along with Mike Gerzabek. Now in the back 15. Handle for Tucker. And Krug. 1-1 for 2 so far. 2 shots for Jordan Krug, the All-American, in this first half. Got to get more involvement from him in half number 2 to be sure. Layden has been involved. Waligerski in the right alley. In the minute 25 and counting first half. Tucker, spin move, rolling toward the cage. Good defense from Schilling. Gerzabek up top, 23 to shoot. Gerzabek, right-hand cradle. Krug, he'll dodge in the right alley. And 15 to shoot. Good press-out defense. Long-range shot blasted there by Waligerski wide. 10 to shoot this possession. Quick re-trigger. Shot. It was sent right on in the final seconds. Gib Versfield had to really be alert in the final moments. McAfee streaks upfield the other way. Quick clear. Transition lacrosse. And the final 45 ticks of our first half from Philly. Timeout is called. 43.7 to go in the opening 30. So you're thinking strategy here, Dixie? Each side, what's on your mind?
Get a stop if you're Cabrini, obviously.
Right.
You want to keep this thing tied going into the halftime setting. And if you are the Amherst Mammoths, definitely want to get that goal. I don't know if you use Wolf or if you use somebody else. They've had a good run of success dodging with sweeps across the top of the box. We'll see if it might be Solberg or another body that they can get sweeping. Maybe if the shot isn't there, you can draw a slide and you can dump it down to the attack.
Goaltender so far, Riley Waite with 8 saves and 6 for Gib Versfield, the sophomore who had 8 saves in the semis last week against Williams. He is from Langhorne, Pennsylvania, here in the Philly area. 43.7 seconds remaining in the opening half. Championship Sunday, leading us to Championship Monday tomorrow. Yale, Virginia, your early thoughts.
T.D. Erlin, face-off maestro. Looking for him to, if you're a Yale fan, to control possessions, get a lot of touches for that extremely potent Bulldog offense. Petey LaSalle, the freshman for Virginia, face-off man, did an outstanding job in the semifinal victory over Duke, especially in the overtime sessions. So that's my first thought, is the face-off battle between the junior Erlin, first-team All-American, and the freshman Petey LaSalle. And I tell you what, if Virginia falls behind by 4 or 5 goals, as they have in previous games in this tournament, good luck staging a comeback against T.D. Erlin.
Can't wait to watch it. Can't wait to call it. Here are the final 35 seconds, first half. Herrick to handle on the right wing. Wolf, back 15 for Herrick. Matt Solberg. Had a really good opening 30 for John Thompson and these Mammoths. From Springfield, 20 seconds left first half. See what Solberg's got in mind. Top of the box, pass, errant, high. Loose change, who's got it? Cabrini, a battle. DeLuca, the All-American, trying to find it, pass in front. Final seconds of the half. Also errant toward the midfield line. And goosed out of bounds. A good effort there by Rod Castro. Krug trying to catch it in traffic. He's bumped. There's the horn. And there's the half. A lot of action. Frenetic finish to the final 30 minutes. Let's recap half number 1, Dixie.
Good start for Amherst. Good shot selection. Jumped out to a couple goal lead, but good recovery by the Cabrini Cavaliers, and they closed this half on a 3-0 run with some opportunistic scoring, good defensive stands. We're shaping up for a heck of a second half.
Can't wait for half number 2. We'll take a break now from the Lincoln Philly 6-6 Amherst and Cabrini Division III National Championship game. It's halftime. Philadelphia Division III National Championship game. Dave Ryan, Mark Dixon. It is 6-6 Amherst and Cabrini in a game of runs in the D3 title game. The same earlier today. Mark here at the link in the D2 title game as Merrimack took on Limestone. Limestone 20-0, the top seed. Merrimack, the 6 train. That's their nickname, the 6 seed. And it went all the way. It took the Express to the national championship.
Yeah, they really did. Great team effort. I thought early Merrimack did a great job of sharing the ball. I thought Limestone was trying to force it a little bit, but Merrimack showed that they had a plethora of weapons. Their first 7 goals in this game were scored by 7 different players. So when you demonstrate that depth of scoring, that type of balance, you become incredibly difficult to defend. And that's exactly what Merrimack was all ball game long against this Limestone State team.
3-1. They were dancing, to be sure, for Merrimack. The Warriors, after the first quarter, 9-3 at halftime. Was a nice run in the second half by Limestone to get back into the game. At one point, it was 10-7, but Charlie Bertrand, the most outstanding player of the championship game, and company eventually able to take over whatever Limestone could offer and really pull away to make it one-sided in the end, and a big victory for Merrimack and another national championship.
Sean Clark was terrific. I thought the goaltender Ponte was solid. Really impressed with the Thomas brothers. And in the end, the Merrimack Warriors say, come and get me. We're national champions. We're closing out the chapter on our D2 history.
Last day, Division II in Merrimack Warrior history, headed to Division I to play in the NEC next year. Every player's dream to take that picture with the championship t-shirts and the caps backwards, because they are national champs in 2019. What a run for Merrimack College. Here it's halftime. Amherst and Cabrini Division III National Championship game from Philly. Half number 2 is on the way. Injured a couple games at Vermont and came to the program here in the Philly area. Cabrini and hit the ground running. As Coach Colford told us yesterday, high school All-American, Under Armour national notoriety as well. Here we go, half number 2 in Philly.
Well, McCallion, that name is familiar to Philadelphia lacrosse fans. His older brother Joe had a good career at the University of Pennsylvania.
Venazzo trying to win the draw. And quickly taken back by Amherst. Luke Millette able to grab it with a 6-foot pole. A lot of help. And across the line. Wolf back 15 near the end line. And his first handle of this second half. Colin Minikis, star offensive player. Spin move at GLE. A sprint toward the cage. Holds up an X. And Minikis, some good help defense. Nick Vass, the 6th year close defenseman, overcome a couple of severe knee injuries. 2 ACL tears for Cabrini to become an All-American. It's quite a story.
That sounds a lot like Adam Charlambidis, the attackman for Rutgers, who returned this season after missing 2 years with knee injuries. So it's always great when these student athletes get a second chance.
Jackson Herrick, Crank scores for Amherst. The Mammoths have their first 2-goal scorer. Jackson Herrick had the first goal of the game and the latest to make it 7-6. Amherst, first goal, second half.
Well, these midfielder sweeps have been incredibly effective for Amherst. Herrick has 2, Solberg has 1, and Herrick, he did a righty sweep with a whip shot to start the scoring. Here it's left-handed, and Riley White, you can see when that ball went into the cage, the Cabrini netminder was disappointed in himself because I think he just misread that ball. It went stick side low, and he thought he could have gotten a piece of it.
John Thompson tells us that Jackson Herrick has the heaviest shot on the Mammoth roster, more than 100 miles an hour in testing. It's impressive. Scrum, face off, Now the wings crash in, bodies everywhere. Who's going to find it? That's the question. Finazzo finally does have the GB near the midfield line. And a setup now again for Amherst. Trying to keep the roll going to begin this second half. John Coffey has control of it.
Great pickup by Finazzo. In a sea of bodies, absorbed a check, was pushed before he got possession. The play on incorporated as he picked it up and got out of harm's way. This is an important defensive sequence for the Cabrini Cavaliers. You don't want to come out of the locker room and give up 2 consecutive goals. It's not insurmountable by any stretch of the imagination if you're Cabrini, but this is an area where they were winning. They won the stat line in the first half on faceoffs.
Man plays off for Solberg. Thought about a shot, return, feed. In the slot. Loose in front. Sent just off target, not by much. Good effort for Coffey, looking for his second. But the defense for Cabrini and Riley White, a little too strong this time. Now the clear up field, looking for their initial possession of the second half. Clear a challenge, right, effective near the midfield line. Trouble across the midfield stripe for Layden, who finally does sprint away from the Amherst ride. Streaking in, shot, score! Tremendous work, sub-game, ends up in a big goal in front. Bill Morgan has got his second of the day.
Layden with a big boy clear. He made it tougher than it had to be as he elected to lower his helmet and batter ram his way across the midfield line. Lost possession for a second, but then was able to pick it back up. And how about the feed? Cross field from Luke McCallion on a rope. Beautiful look to Morgan. That is a dart that is completed, actually maybe with Kyle Tucker. With that feed. That was just great vision, beautiful execution, and Morgan to collect it, identify where the net was, and he put a little twister shot past that Amherst netminder, Gib Versfeld.
Wing play. Finazzo trying to get physical, whistle, and Cabrini's going to have possession. And a quick restart. So Herrick, the first and most recent goal scored for Amherst. Morgan, the first and most recent tally for the Cavaliers of Cabrini. And we're tied again at 7, looking for a D3 championship here today, both schools. As Morgan has the handle outside the left alley.
A really good game, back and forth, no team giving up an inch. And it's going to come down to execution.
Krug, pick, Gerzebek, Krug goes high, scores! Jordan Krug, lefty laser, high to high. Too much for Gib Versfield. Back-to-back jacks, scored by the Cavaliers to take an 8-7 lead.
The majority of the fan base here at Lincoln Financial Field has swelled to an even more of a majority for the Cabrini Cavaliers. Krug, known to shoot from anywhere, and this is just a thing of beauty. He's got the defender, Castro. This is not bad defense. He's actually in his hands. He gets a little lift right there, and that is just sheer power by Krug, who sticks it right underneath the crossbar. Beautiful shot.
233 career goals now for Jordan Krug, tying the all-time record holder, school history, Scott Reimer, who played there between 06 and 09. Congratulations to Krug and his teammates. A great half. Wolf, dunk, doorstep, quick stick, goal. Evan Wolf responds. The two superstar attackmen score back-to-back. And the Mammoths captain drains it from short range to tie us up again, 8 apiece.
A little tit for tat. Whatever you can do, I can do better. Wolf with the opportunity in transition for the Amherst Mammoths. Great job, unsettled situation, and a nice little pass in the uneven situation from Chrysikis. And then Wolf had to climb the ladder a little bit. Not the biggest guy in the world, listed at 5'8". Skied for it, dunks it home. Pretty goal for Amherst.
Grant Krasikis, his first point of the day. And the faceoff one right back to Krug and company for the Cavaliers. So back and forth we go. Luke McCallion, good job faceoff dot for Cabrini. Tied again 4 minutes in to the second half.
Well, and that was unselfish by Krasikis because he could have easily shot from that position on the field. He elected to make the one more.
Krug, next goal. He's the all-time goal-scoring king in school history. Shot way off the mark. Ripped there by Timmy Brooks, senior attackman. Another Philly area native. He's the record holder of school history in man-up goals. Doorstep, easy tally, just like that. Quick stick goal. Kyle Tucker may have hurt his back in the process. He's hurting a little bit. But Cabrini fans are celebrating. They've regained the lead.
Tucker does come up a little bit ginger. We'll see on the replay. He may have taken a check in the back. These kids shoot so much. There's already enough torque and pressure on those back muscles to make you feel like you're 20 years older than you really are. But this is just a great look. Skip pass. Tucker takes a little whack on that right hip area as he deposits it in the cage. He's smarting a little bit. Goes to the bench to get a little TLC. He'll probably be back out here.
High-scoring second half. Mike Gerzebek, the assist. Perfect tic-tac-toe goal. Face-off violation. Cavaliers right back in business with possession in the half field.
Just got a shot of Kyle Tucker on that Cabrini bench using one of those foam rollers. There's nothing foam about them, but it's good to roll out muscles and get rid of any aches and pains for a moment.
Layden operates in the right alley here, Dixie. And our back and forth third quarter, now a 9-8 lead for the Cavaliers. Fun game to watch so far. Here's Krug, looking for the record setter. Free, little shovel shot on the backhand try, directed wide, not by much. Defense from Amherst, such a challenge on Krug, who's just huge.
Big guy.
And maybe the hair makes him look a little bigger. Formidable, to be sure.
He's 5'10", but 6'1" with the hair.
Yeah. Good Fletch reference. Low to high shot. And stopped there by Versfield. Chance for the clear now for the Mammoths, looking to regain momentum once again. And our back and forth tilt. Rod Castro, all-conference All-American defenseman, has got it. 6-foot pole across the midfield line. Sahlberg burst of speed into the offensive end.
We got to like that save by Gib Versfeld. That was a shot with high heat, and he didn't guess on it. That's what I've been most impressed with Versfeld so far in this game. He holds his position well. He tracks it. He's fundamentally sound. He's a tall goaltender, listed at 6'4". That takes up a lot of cage.
Sahlberg operates, shoved off the play. Shorty matchup. Sahlberg cranks, scores! Matt Sahlberg, patient, wait. Just enough time. Got the right hand free. The hammer from 10. And the Mammoths respond again to tie this classic Division III championship game up one more time at 9.
It just keeps going back and forth. Fans are being treated to a dandy here in Philadelphia. Sahlberg, again, not a huge player, 5'8", out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. But I like how he uses the defender's pressure against him. Steps back, and you're not going to get in my hands. You're going to let my stick get free. I'm going to rip one. Nice shot. Good velocity, decent placement.
Now, John Thompson told us this week when the ball comes out of the Sahlberg stick, it's so challenging for goalies to read, and we're seeing that case in point here. Bonazzo really battling hard face-off dot. Things unsettled. Big crank shot, high and stops. Luke Millette with a blast. And Riley White tracked it beautifully into the goal stick. Now the clear try the other way for Cabrini and Corey Carver. A short stick defensive midfielder plays back for Tommy DeLuca. Cabrini's got to hurry. Across the midfield line, all right. Inside 20, and they'll get it set up in the half field.
Nice clear. Good patience. Good poise and composure. Riley White with that save off the long pole shot. It knocked him back about 2 feet, but he's able to hold on to it, and here come the Cavaliers.
Keep the ball to the goal, right?
Whichever way you can.
Whatever it takes. Laid in the handle. Works to the offensive end here for the Cavaliers. This is Krug. Far side GLE. Jordan Krug physical. Bull dodge. Help comes. Krug lost the rock into the corner. Now shoulders bump. It's physical. Who wants the ground ball more? Reed Schilling trying to find it. 6-foot pole for Amherst. Kazmierski and company streak out of the defensive end.
Field looking like a mash unit. Krug was down. Castro was down. Another player for Amherst was on the turf. Some really physical play. It looked like Krug got long johned behind the cage. Was looking for a flag. No dice. Cabrini bench wasn't too animated, though, so they must have not have thought that their player was fouled.
Jackson Eric has 2 so far. Wolf on the board with his first in this second half. Minicus. Here's Herrick up top. Shorty matchup. Looking for his third. Spins. Thought about pulling the trigger instead of pass. Solberg shot. Stopped. And the rebound loose into the corner. Picked up by Tommy DeLuca. Riley White up to the task. Solberg shut down in his bid for the hat trick. Spin move clear. Cressman spectacular. Through traffic beats the ride.
Whirling dervish. Nice clear by Cressman. How about that ground ball by DeLuca? Pop fly uses the 70 inches of titanium to get it.
Kurzebek pass was tipped. It's out of bounds and will be retained by the Cavaliers. Quick re-trigger. Things unsettled. Shot, side of the net on the blast. A lot of the Cabrini fans thought that might have been a goal from Timmy Brooks. Net move, celebration. Always double check.
As a referee, you hold your whistle.
That's right.
Hold your whistle, go in.
And as an announcer, you hold your call.
Absolutely. Don't want to be a victim of the mom goal.
Colin Minicus. I called the game with St. John's Georgetown on the TV side this year, and there was a mom goal that St. John scored, and those fans celebrated for a good 30 seconds
No
afterwards.
kidding.
They had no idea it wasn't a goal.
Even after it was cleared.
It was cleared all the way downfield.
Yeah.
They were hugging. They weren't watching the field. It was great. Minicus, Georgetown, nice year. Won the Big East again.
Terrific year for Kevin Warren. 2 consecutive NCAA tournament appearances. Gave Yale all they can handle in the first round of that NCAA tournament.
3-goal game, you're right.
Dan Baccaro, 8 goals against the Bulldogs that day.
He was fantastic. Shot clock winding down here. Mammoths, Minicus at X. Pass picked by the goaltender Riley White. What a play. Into the goal stick. And now the important clear for Cabrini in our 9-9 game. Each team has scored 3 in this third quarter. Herrick, Wolf, Solberg scoring for Amherst. Morgan, Krug, Tucker have tallied for the Cavaliers. Successful clear, and Tucker and company in the offensive end.
Well, Riley White's put together a good, nice little 3-4 minute stretch here.
Krug spins. Krug, stop. Pipe. Iron got that one as Krug goes for the record setter to become Cabrini's all-time leading goal scorer in school history.
Great save by Versfeld. So both of these goaltenders have really put together a solid 3-4 minutes stretch here.
Kevin Layden. While Gursky drives toward the cage in the right alley. Out of the back 15. While Gursky with the shorty matchup having trouble. Dribbles it basketball style a couple times. Lavort's back in his cross. Big crank off target.
That's Brooks. He's typically an extra man specialist, getting some run in the even up 6-on-6 situations.
Spin move in front, in the net for Cabrini and Tucker. The roll dodge from X to his right, and then it just took power, will, desire, and shot selection. Another for Cabrini. Kyle Tucker, the sophomore. only 5'4", diminutive dynamo. And Cabrini tallies again.
Tucker showing a lot of heart. Took the hit on the hip on his last goal opportunity. Checked out of the game, got rolled out a little bit, but look at that inside roll. Beautiful job, and he actually took a hatchet as he was falling to the turf. That could have been a foul on Amherst to give them an EMO, but Tucker has been really impressive with his determination getting to the cage.
Battle, face-off X, push call, and a re-trigger here for the Mammoths. It is physical. It is intense here, playing for the Division III National Championship. Brogan Man works for Wolf, younger brother of Duke legend Jordan Wolf, a national champion, a four-time All-ACC pick and All-American at Duke, now starring in the pros. And Jordan's been to a couple practices. John Thompson joked with us this week that he said, look, I've got a really good Dodger already. You want to just sit in front of the crease and play a little bit with us? To Jordan Wolf, one of the all-time great Dodgers the game has ever seen. Bounce shot is over the cage there from Kazmierski.
His game defined by quickness and change of direction. Runs in the family.
No doubt. Minikis, the junior and third-team All-American, re-triggers here. 38 to shoot in this possession. Short stick matchup, Minikis, ball's on the grass. Who's gonna find it? Now the 50-50 ball. Look at the sticks flying. Bodies everywhere. Solberg, a lunge for it, touches the paint end line out of bounds, and back to the Cavaliers.
Crowd's into it, the bench is into it, the coaches are losing their minds. The intensity and energy of a championship game.
Tommy DeLuca on the pass from Delaney across the midfield line on a clear. Corey Carver, short stick defensive midfielder, helps work into the offensive end. Cavaliers will set it up here with 2:30 to go in the third quarter. A one-goal lead and the ball. And a thriller from the link. Rain falling here as Morgan handles in the back 10. Some thunderstorms in the forecast for later tonight. Big blast just off target again there from Timmy Brooks, the senior from Villanova, Pennsylvania, right down the road.
How about that?
Sharp angle. Stop. Ball airborne. Krug trying to find it in traffic. Knocked out of his cross. Push call. And Cabrini keeps it. Stick broken on the field.
See who that stick belongs to. Got to get it all out of here.
Krug on the reset. Playing there. And a shot. Tyler Kostak free. High slot. Bouncer. Fools give Versfield. And it's another score by Cabrini, providing a little separation here in the third quarter. Finally a two-goal lead for somebody, 11-9.
A little bit of breathing room. We'll see how long it lasts. Whistle ready. These restarts got to be ready to play. Kostak just steps around his defender, sees the slide, and uses the earth. Look at the placement of that shot just inside the crease. High bouncers will go here at the Link on a Sunday afternoon.
Kostak has two, also scored in the second quarter to make it 6-4 for the Cavaliers. We were tied at halftime after a 3-2 Cabrini lead after the first quarter. Really gone back and forth since. A lot of ties in this game, but now a two-goal run. Tucker, Kostak. Mammoths take it right back. Jimmy McAfee off the wing. Helps with a ground ball. Logan Lair sprints off the field. Also a wing player, face-off unit for Amherst College. Whistle stops play here with a minute 27 to go in the quarter. And the officials meet.
Not sure why there was a stoppage in play. All three officials, though, getting together to sort out.
Still waiting for some kind of official notification on this, Dixie.
I don't know if it was a reset of the shot clock, because there is a fresh 80 up there for, and the shot clock's not working. The shot clock is not on right now.
They're keeping it on the field. Off the end line, Wolf tracks it down. There are thunderstorms in the area. It's possible we could see a delay sometime in the second half.
Do not say that.
We will find out. Always good to be ready, Dixie. We have plenty of it. We can talk for a long time.
Not me.
We'll be
That's
fine.
all you, buddy.
In front, hits Wolf, quick six, scores! Evan Wolf on a great feed, cross crease. Parked on the doorstep and buries it. He's got a couple. Response for the Mammoths, 11-10.
Great look, cross feed, cross crease, I should say. The vision today by P.J. Clemente has been terrific, the freshman out of Huntington, New York. And Evan Wolf parking himself far post. That thing was threaded through the Cabrini defense. Taking advantage of a short stick matchup. Wolf, the quick one-timer. Great vision, a little too much ball watching for the Cabrini Cavaliers.
Evan Wolf just looks just like Jordan, doesn't he? How many times we met with him over his great career at Duke. Now it's Evan's turn with another goal here in the final minute of the third quarter. And now, again, a one-goal game. Flag flies off the faceoff. Touch-up made by Logan Lair.
I think this penalty is going to be against Amherst.
Makes sense after Lair made the stop, but let's see here. Cabrini has
Cabrini
Kyle Myers.
He ran right to the box. So he looked like he was celebrating going off the field, which would have led me to believe that Amherst was the guilty party. But when you have a defender who just runs right to the penalty area and pops a squat, that's
Myers.
That is pretty much saying I'm guilty, folks.
The rain is falling here in Philly. And the goalies are ready for what should be an incredible final 53.2 of the third and the fourth quarter coming up. Legal body check is the call. So Myers will sit for a minute, and what an opportunity here for the Mammoths to tie this game up.
No doubt. Circle, no crease. Now it's a 3-3.
Extra man so far, 1 for 3. Ball movement, Solberg. Pass it to Norton. We've seen his offensive prowess in this D3 title game. And that's Solberg. Minikis. Wolf finding a handle over the shoulder shot. Dylan Peabody bidding for his second in spectacular fashion. Just missed the target. Jack Norton, the backup. 27.2 to go in the quarter and plenty of time left in the 6-on-5. Norton retriggers. Minikis works up top. Solberg's got a couple already. Passing here to Peabody. Ball movement, return pass, Solberg up top. Peabody takes his time. Norton is set up, so is Wolf. Crank shot, blocked, never got there. Ground ball in front, who's gonna find it? Tommy DeLuca does, and that is the end of the quarter. And a tremendous defensive job, man down there for the Cavaliers in front of their home fans. Just minutes down the road in the Philly area. 3 quarters in the books, and Dixie a one-goal game.
And I believe there's time left on that foul. And if there is, Riley White having possession at the end of the quarter means no face-off. It will be Cabrini's ball in their own defensive end. They'll have to clear it, but we'll have to wait and see. I wasn't paying attention to the penalty area. I just know that the Cabrini bench was incredibly excited to thwart that extra man opportunity.
We'll take a timeout. Be back for the fourth quarter here in Philadelphia. Lacrosse fans gear up. Exciting fourth quarter is on the way in a one-goal game. Cabrini and Amherst Division III National Championship from the link in Philadelphia. One team raises the trophy in the next 15 minutes. Mark Dixon, what more could you ask for?
I could ask for no thunderstorms to let this fourth quarter play out, and let's crown a champ. Cabrini ball to start, no face-off because they had possession at the end of the quarter in the man-down situation. Punt return clear.
Look
nice
at the
job.
sprint out by Sean Wagner, who had 3 ground balls against Salisbury last week in the semis. 11 points for Wagner, but nothing more valuable than that absolute dash down the field to give his team the ball on the offensive end. Fourth quarter is underway in a 1-goal game, but only one team can take home the national championship today. Gerzebek for Krug. Still looking for that record-setting goal. From an angle. Trouble to handle Kostak. Krug up top. Here's Gerzebek. Operates. Tucker passing.
Amherst in his zone.
Spin move. Score! Kyle Tucker, the sophomore, would not be denied. Big shoulder bump to the right of the cage. Would not dislodge his path to pay dirt. And he scores again for the Cavaliers. They're back up by 2.
Not sure how he was able to sneak this one in. I think the goaltender, Versfeld, came off of his pipe. Tucker had the tiniest of sliver to work with. Nice inside roll, but Versfeld did not hug his pipe. And that is a little sliver of space that Tucker was able to hammer it home through. Nice individual effort for the sophomore attackman.
He has been red hot. Starting in mid-March, his coach told us this week, and Steve Colfer, and all through the playoffs. And today in this championship game, Tucker's got 2 in the second half.
Wow.
Flag flies, battle again off the wing. Things so physical. And Krug has the handle near the midfield stripe. There's a flag on the field.
I've really been impressed with Robert Cressman. He's cleared the ball 3 times now. He draws the first flag of the game against Amherst.
Morgan bumped off the ball, lost his stick, and the touch-up. Now here comes the penalty call as Tamer Sullivan, starting close defenseman for the Mammoths, finds the ground ball.
It's going to be a hold call against Amherst. This will be the first extra man opportunity of the game for the Cabrini Cavaliers.
Logan Lair will sit. Junior from Chesterfield, Ohio, is out. Extra man time here. Cabrini trying to extend the lead to 3 in our back and forth championship game here today. Big crank, long range shot, score! How about Timmy Brooks? Dixie mentioned he's the EMO specialist, and on cue, it's a righty rocket low. It's another goal for Cabrini, and some breathing room for the Cavs, 13-10.
Excellent piece on Brooks this week on InsideLacrosse.com. He's had a long journey to championship weekend as a member of this Cabrini Cavalier ball club. Brooks, extra man specialist, sharpshooter, good ball movement, nothing fancy. He's just going to corral it and shoot this thing low to low. Beautiful shot. Timeout on the field as Cabrini has built a 3-goal lead. Amherst wants to talk it over.
We'll take a timeout as well. Be back to Philadelphia in a moment. 13-10 game. Cabrini Cavaliers playing only minutes from campus with so many Philly area players extend the lead. Timmy Brooks, EMO specialist, buries it. Cabrini off the wing with a big play, a big shot and score for Myers. Kyle Myers grabs the ground ball off the face-off win and goes coast to coast for another goal. Cavaliers tally again and widen the lead to 4.
Fans clad in blue love it. The majority of the fans here are of the Cabrini Cavalier variety. Myers, little sky whammy. The trail check just misses. And Myers, the worm burner, past Versfeld, stretches the Cavalier lead up to 4. Not the result that Amherst wanted after taking that timeout.
Steve Cofer told us this week that Myers so good off the wing and especially with ground balls. Didn't mention his shooting prowess as he breaks up field and scores his 3rd of the year. But he did say a tremendous athlete who's been so impressive on wing play tonight. Another big moment for Cabrini. Inching closer to possible history. Each program looking for its first ever Division III National Championship here tonight.
Finazzo's been winning the clamp. He just hasn't been able to get it to his teammates. They've got to do a better job of breaking on the ground balls when he flares it out into space. That's the second face-off in a row where the wings for Cabrini have beaten the wings for Amherst to ground balls after Finazzo was won the clamp.
Luke Millette battling here, trying to stay up with Kyler Tostak. His shot just off target this time. Deflected last second. Swim move out of traffic and trouble. Krasikis passing, shot, score. Amherst responds. Coffey has got another for the Mammoths. John Coffey scored in the 2nd and now in the 4th. As the heavens open, it is raining hard here in Philadelphia right now with 11:56 to go in the 4th. The run over for Cabrini, 14-11.
Awesome ground ball for Krasikis in the defensive end. This is big boy lacrosse. The shovel shot goes wide. It hits players behind the goal. It stops dead in its tracks, and Krasikis on a run, picks it up, swim move, gets it out of harm's way, legs it a good 70 yards, and gets it down to John Coffey, who puts the high-to-high shot past the netminder for Cabrini. That is the kind of play that can be a huge shot in the arm and energy boost to this Amherst ball club.
Both schools from the Northeast, they're used to adverse weather. Training in January, opening up their preseason workouts, February games. It's snowing, it's ice everywhere, so they're used to some rain and some adversity with the weather here. It is really raining right now. Hardest it's rained all day, and Amherst trying to respond with back-to-back goals here. McAfee in traffic, though. High slot area lost it. That's taken back by the Cavaliers. A very key turnover.
Well, 2 things to look at here with the rain falling the way it is. 1, the condition and slickness of the field, the footing for these athletes, and 2, the sticks. Most, if not all, play with these mesh sticks, and as they get wet, the pocket tends to bag out, and that can impede upon the accuracy of the passes and the stick work for all these lacrosse players.
The junior from the Philly area, Springfield. Gerzabek passing. Brooks scores again. Amherst fell asleep defensively. EMO specialist Timmy Brooks loose. And the Philly area native has got another. 10:57 to go in the 4th. Another 4-goal lead for the Cavs.
Fell asleep is right. How do you leave Brooks? All the guy does is shoot. You leave him completely unmarked underneath your defense. Brooks takes the feed, turns, whips it past the Amherst goaltender. Big goal again. They answer the Amherst tally with one of their own pretty fast.
Much more comfortable cushion now at 4. McCallie in the battle. Whistle stops play. We got a timeout called by the Cavaliers just in time. 10:49 remaining in the 4th, and a timeout called by Cabrini. Will take one as well. Back in a moment to Philadelphia. Back in Philly, 15-11 game. The rain continues to fall, though it's lightened up a little bit here at the link. And Cabrini, the hometown heroes, from less than a 30-minute drive from campus here at Lincoln Financial Field, trying to put this one away and win the first Division III National Championship in school history. The storyline is set. Now they got to finish this off. Layden passing. Kostak, back 15, operates with a short stick matchup. Watched there by Jimmy McAfee. Krug's got 2 already. Blast sent just off target. Brooks again looking for the hat. He has got a heavy, heavy shot. 2 goals on 6 shots so far for Timmy Brooks. Morgan's got a couple as well. Handles up top. Here's Krug. 30 to shoot. Jordan Krug and the Cavaliers not in a big hurry here. Rod Castro watches Krug. 6-foot pole. Slide comes, help comes, balls on the turf. McAfee has got the ground ball. Amherst in need of a goal quickly. McAfee, fast break lacrosse, feeds in traffic, knocked down. John Coffey trying to find the handle, eventually does for Wolf. Division III Player of the Year. Gets the return pass. Relatively held in check today, Dixie.
Cabrini's done a nice job on him. On the other end, Krug holding that ball a little too much. Ball's dying in his stick, and he's got a brace on that left knee. And several times here in the second half, after he's been taken off his feet, he's gotten up very, very slowly. Keep the ball hot. He's going to get his scoring chances. Amherst now trying to penetrate this Cabrini zone defense.
Jackson Harris got a couple. Brogan man feeds for Solberg on the far side. Minikis passing. Blast. Brogan man, the senior and team captain. And 5th leading scorer, but he misses the mark with that heat in a 4-goal game. Amherst getting toward the dangerous time here. They've had several comebacks in this great run of the D3 title game. Never the position you want to be in. Solberg operates, short stick matchup. Minikis dives, backhand shovel shot, he scores! What a play! Colin Minikis, the junior. The speedy dodge from X and the backhand shovel. As the rain increases, it's pouring at the lake again. Pouring goals, Mark Dixon.
Nice job by Minikis. Recognizes that the defense is a little too far away to get to him for a slide opportunity, and he's just going to lay out. Does Superman, and then takes it in his right hand. He's just going to flick it past the goaltender for Cabrini. He went low. Minikis adjusts in midair to go high. Recognized the goaltender going down low to his knees, and Riley White. Nice job by Minikis.
First of the day for Colin Minikis. Matt Solberg picks up the helper. All important face-off. Off the wing, who's going to find the handle? Mammoths have it. Logan Lair found that GB. And now across the midfield line, here comes Amherst again, trying to cut it to 2. Little transition lacrosse. Jack Wolf, senior wing. Trouble with the handle. Minikis does come loose. Off for Solberg. Defensive players will sub off, and a first line attack in midfield. Back on the field here for John Thompson's team.
Hey, they're going to chip away at this lead. That was a great ground ball picked up in the defensive end by Logan Lair. Beautiful work. Those are the types of gritty plays that the Mammoths need at this stage of the game. I think Cabrini's got the better of that category throughout this contest.
Brogan man for Solberg. Man jumping. Foul shot off the natural grass over the crossbar. Back up. Minikis there closest to it. Here's the retrigger for the Mammoths.
Cabrini staying in this zone defense. They've got the utmost of confidence in their netminder.
Coffey is set up in the slot. Wolf cruising through as well. Jackson Harris got a couple today. Free for a moment, doesn't pull the trigger. Man will, big blast just wide to the left of the Cabrini cage. And the goaltender, Riley White, the senior. Retrigger for Minikis. Logan man up top, back for Solberg. Shorty matchup. Matt Solberg's been so effective today. Rolling, spinning, shooting. Shut down. Riley White saw that and hugging the left pipe. Shut down the angle on Solberg. Now the all-important clear for the Cavaliers.
Great ride.
Effective. Coffey dislodges. Comes to Wolf in the box. Feeding Solberg. Back to Coffey. Spin, shoots. Knocked aside. Coffey with a great opportunity to cut it to a 2-goal game. Instead, A denial by the Cavalier defense.
Riley White bails out his midfielder, Cressman. First time Cressman's had a failed clear, to my knowledge, in this game. Great ride by Amherst. This is a great clear, though, for the Cabrini Cavaliers, and that saved by Riley White. Man, that could have really shifted the momentum squarely into the Amherst sideline.
Kostak works up top. Kevin Layden. He'll spin in the right alley. Got Krug set up to his left. Krug the backdoor cut. And Layden keeps it. 35 to shoot this Cavalier possession. Bounce shot off target. Mike Gerzabek, the junior.
If you're Cabrini right now, milk this shot clock down a little bit. If it's there, take it, but don't be hasty. Time is on your side.
Kostak feeds up top, about 20 to shoot. The blast off target. Wide of the cage again from 15 yards in front of the net there by Brooks, bidding for the hat trick. Gerzabek, retrigger. Hidden ball fake. Gerzabek keeps it with Krug. Now it's Krug. 7 to shoot. Driving toward the goal. The bull dodge. Now next, Jordan Krug. 2 to shoot. Lunging. Stick airborne. Crease call and a shot clock violation. Both really at the same time. Clear here. And Amherst across the midfield line with Chase Yeager.
Krug trying to make something out of nothing. I don't have a problem with that because the ball was maybe just about 10 yards from where it would have been if he threw it in the corner. It was still, you saw Cabrini personnel running to the box to get their defensive unit on the field. They cut the field in half and eliminated any transition opportunity for the Mammoths.
Kazmierski plays off for Solberg at the top of the box. Under 5 to go now in regulation in a 3-goal game. Approaching desperation time for the Mammoths down. Wolf up top. Kazmierski, bull dodge, left alley, lost the ball. Taken away, great defense, Cabrini. Tremendous takeaway by Tommy DeLuca, the All-American, second-team All-American Division III pick this year by the USILA. Now the important clear across the midfield line. They beat the ride of Coffey and Kazmierski. And Cabrini a chance to set things up as Wagner will walk it in, then head off for an offensive player.
Well,
heading down toward 4 to go.
DeLuca just took Amherst lunch money. That was a great takeaway check. 45 seconds on the shot clock, just over 4 minutes left in the game. If I'm Cabrini, again, I'm being very judicious. It's not the shot I want. Not the shot I want. Work it down the side, work it to X, and try to get this Amherst defense shuffling.
Mike Gerzabek with a blast, was knocked down hard by Tamer Sullivan, the second-team All-American pick out of Amherst. So in a 3-goal game with 4 minutes to go in regulation, Krug will jog it toward the back line. So strong at GLE. We've seen him get toward the goal a couple times. Flags fly, penalty coming here against Amherst and Rod Castro. All-conference pick with a 6-foot pole. Delay flags are on the field. And that's great news for the Cavaliers with 15 to shoot. Krug and company. Spin move. Morgan scores! Bill Morgan on a feed from Krug with flags on the field. Sends this huge Cabrini crowd into a frenzy. 4-goal lead again for the Cavaliers.
That could have been the dagger. Flags are down because of a slash against Amherst. Krug does a great job of milking the clock, gets it to short time, and then when he comes above GLE, such a handful, you have to slide. And Bill Morgan, Johnny on the spot, steps in, and a nice roll. Bad approach by the Amherst defense. Morgan just does a spinorama, gets free, and slots it past the Amherst D.
Wow. Hat trick, Bill Morgan, senior midfielder. What a way to wrap up his career. Puts his program up by 4, inching closer to a Division III national championship. Face-off. Win Cabrini again. Luke McCallion has been outstanding. He's won 16 draws in this game today. Timeout called. Steve, Kulfer, and Cabrini. 3:20 to go in regulation, up by 4, and most importantly, they've got the ball. We'll take a break. Only 3 minutes, 20 seconds from rainy Philadelphia, standing between Cabrini and the program's first ever national championship, playing just moments away from their campus here in the Philly area. A 16-12 lead on Amherst. The Mammoths, Mark Dixon, in desperation mode.
Big time. And if you're Cabrini, time, as it has been for the last few minutes, is on your side. But now, even more so. 71 seconds on the shot clock. 3:20 to go in the game. And you are man up. So Amherst is going to have to chase. They have not vacated the goal just yet, but I expect them to do so pretty quickly as this penalty time continues to tick off.
Rod Castro sits. Sean Wagner, a shorty, is out there for some time killing because he's such a great ball handler and speedy athlete. Out here for Cabrini. They're in no hurry to attack the cage. Kevin Layden outside the box. Will play for Wagner. 35 to shoot. Castro sits, man up time. Something's got to happen for Amherst, looking for a loose ball turnover and a chance to clear up field. Penalty clears. Shot just off target. And not by much for Brooks, looking for the hat trick, charging in as things unsettled offensively again for Amherst. 15 to shoot. Shot clock not reset. Kyle Tucker. Sharp angle blast off target again from Brooks. 7 to shoot.
Let's see what Krug decides to do. Is he going to force the issue, or is he just going to hold it and chuck it into the far corner?
7 seconds to shoot. Krug will walk it along the end line. No attack here. It's into the corner. 2:08 to go in the fourth. And a 4-goal Cavalier lead. Closing in on a title. Schilling will re-trigger here. Plays off for his teammate Chase Yeager. Amherst needs goals in a hurry. And face-off wins and more goals. Solberg for Wolf. Brilliant season for Wolf about to come to an end. And career, the National Player of the Year. Timeout. With 1:39 to go in the fourth. It's almost title time for Cabrini.
It's getting to that hour. Timeout taken by Amherst. That penalty was killed beautifully, not by Amherst, but by Cabrini. They milked that clock as far as they could, chucked it into the other end of the sideline, and then got their defensive personnel to eliminate any transition. Solberg, I think he's going to be involved here offensively for Amherst. And I like Herrick as well. He scored the first goal of the game and the first goal of the second half. He's been a little absent in between, but I think he's a dodging threat from up top. And of course, you've got the Division III Player of the Year in Evan Wolf. But this Cabrini defense and their goaltender Riley White has been superb throughout this game. We'll see what the last minute 39 has to offer.
Tucker 3-1 for 4. Morgan a hat trick. Krug has been a big star offensively for the Cavaliers. 2-3 for 5. Brooks as well, a couple goals. A lot of multi-goal scores in this one today for the Cavaliers. The all-important re-trigger. Amherst, the Mammoths, beyond desperation mode. Just over 90 seconds left in this fading fourth quarter clock. Solberg at the top of the box as the rain continues to really fall here at the link. Matt Solberg passing, tip, looking for coffee. It's picked. Intercepted. Cabrini trying to salt this one away. Cavaliers have an offensive end yet again.
No time.
Now the chase down. Sean Wagner trying to just elude any pressure.
No timeouts for either team, so we're going to play this one through.
Amherst tracking down Gerzabek. Double team, triple team, balls on the turf. Grabbed by Millette for the moment. Krug takes it back. He's just too strong.
He's slick on ground balls, that's for sure.
45 seconds left in regulation. Millette trying to get to Krug, and finally they do with a turnover. And it comes away to Tamer Sullivan with 32 seconds left in regulation. Cabrini is going to win its first ever Division III National Championship in its backyard. What a story. What a takeaway again from Wagner. Fires it upfield with 15 seconds to go. It's out of bounds. Gibb Versfield re-triggers. He'll pass downfield in the final seconds. Tamer Sullivan and Amherst can't do much now. Coffey lost the handle. 5 seconds left. 2 seconds left. And for the first time in school history, Cabrini has won the Division III National Championship. The Cavaliers are champs in their backyard in 2019. History for Cabrini. National champions for the first time.
Terrific Division III National Championship game. Was nip and tuck all the way until late in the contest, when Cabrini was able to go on a little bit of a run, create some separation, create some breathing room, and they were able to cobble together a couple consecutive goals, create some penalty opportunities, and they're going back 20 miles from here with the hardware.
Steve Kofer told us this week he couldn't be more proud of what this program has produced. He said to us it's taken 19 years to get this far. They've never lost a conference game in his tenure, but they've never been to a championship game until tonight. And they seal the deal. Robert Cressman, teammates will hold that trophy up along with the rest of the Cavaliers.
Hard-earned, hard-fought victory for this Cavalier lacrosse program. And you got to feel good for a guy like Steve Kofer. This is not an overnight sensation. 19th season with Cabrini. And now they break through and win the program's first ever national championship.
His words to us this week: I want to keep my team light and loose, attend one of the Division I semifinal games, try to be 1-0 each day with practice, with workouts. Krug, spectacular today. He falls 1 goal shy of becoming the all-time Cabrini goal-scoring champ. He did tie the record.
I tell you, he would trade.
More importantly,
he would trade that for that gold. That's for sure.
He is a champion. The coach was relaxed when we chatted with him late week. He said Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with my assistants, all our prep was done. Now it's just time to manage the emotions and be prepared. And it's emotional for fans, family, friends. And Cabrini holds that trophy aloft. Kings of Division III in 2019. Little Lambeau leap. Is it the link leap for Jordan Krug? He's in the stands.
He can call whatever he wants. He's the champ.
Trophy presentation is next.